Welcome to episode 33 of Reboot franchise. To kick this one off, we've got some contracts to negotiate. Again, two players that we definitely want to extend, Marlon Humphrey and Tim Williams. Tim Williams, really, we're probably looking to improve his position in the upcoming draft, but Marlon Humphrey we're very happy with. Okay, we're able to sign him, and we're able to sign Tim Williams. There we go, the two Alabama players locked up, staying with us for the long haul. And now we can advance to the next week. We scouted left tackles, absolutely nobody there that we're going to draft, which is a shame. And now we're playing the Browns again. So we already played them once, we beat them once. Gonna be a tough game though. We looked at that team, we know their team, it's not that easy to play against. But because we looked at them just a couple of weeks ago, we'd have to go and look at them again today. So let's play these Browns, 3-3, we're 6-0. Someone at some point may beat us, but we don't want that to be today. So the Cleveland Browns, not the team they once were. They have a quarterback now in Cooper Maddox, who you have to watch out for. In the first play of the game, they go for a run play with Isaiah Crowell. And then on 3rd and 1, Cooper Maddox looking to run right, but Ty Spazza was there, brings him down for a sack. We get the ball, 2nd and 7, running with Trayvon Bromley, and he finds himself some space there, gets over the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, we go and end around with Ashley Stokes, who's got some space, he's got the speed as well. He picks up a 1st down on that run. And now 2nd and 8, and we're looking to pass with Philip Van Dijk. He's rolling left, he gets away from that man. Now he's got a lot of space to run, gets over the 10-yard line. Tried to make some sort of move there, didn't work out for him. 2nd and goal, looking again to step up. He rolls right, looks like he's going to throw. No, he then cuts up again and then gets into the end zone. Perfectly ran by him. The defenders just didn't know whether to play the pass or run, and he makes them pay for it, gets a rushing touchdown. And on 1st and 10 here, Cooper Maddox sacked by Tim Williams. 3rd and 16 in the end, and he throws one up here though, which is caught. Corey Coleman with the reception. Rashad Peters not even able to catch him for some reason. Hunter Washington was in coverage on him, and that's just a complete mismatch and should have never happened. And on 1st and 10 there, Van Dijk took a big hit, and BJ Wiener's in the game. This isn't the first time we've seen him. Van Dijk seeming to get injured relatively often. 3rd and 16, and it's a clutch pass there to Kurt Weeks. I say the pass was clutch. The pass was clutch. And then Jaquan Barber bursts through the hole. The first man couldn't tackle him. He does get caught from behind. He's not the fastest. But we have the ball here, 3rd and 4. We give it to George Conner, and he gets in. Corner of the end zone. Another rushing touchdown for him to add to his long list of already receiving touchdowns. And now he started a list of rushing touchdowns. Ashley Stokes with a good end around as well. They just can't handle the end arounds right now because we've got our receivers are just too fast. Trayvon Bromley there setting up some blocks with a nice run. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line now, and BJ Wiener completes to TJ Gibbs for almost the 1st down. 2nd and 4 now with 30 seconds left in the first half. We want to get some more points here, already winning 17-7 at this point. And now 1st and 10 again from the 10. We tried to get it into TJ Gibbs, it hit his hands, bounced around, and Schober ended up with it. That's really not BJ Wiener's fault. It was in the hands of the receiver, bounced around, and was then picked off. So we can't blame BJ Wiener for that one. He played well, and now Philip Van Dijk in the second half is back on the field, and Trayvon Bromley starts this for us with a decent run there. 3rd and 7 now. Van Dijk looking to pass, and he finds a wide open George Conner over the middle. You can't allow him to just be wide open in the middle of the field. 1st and 10. A little bit of pressure, but he steps around, makes it work, and he gets the ball out for a reception. And then 1st and 10, 23-yard line, a completion again to TJ Gibbs, who's starting to become a little bit more of a factor. 2nd and 9. Pass to the outside there. Ashley Stokes making a catch on the sideline, and 1st and goal. Philip Van Dijk zipping it in to George Conner. That's become his go-to play recently. George Conner just can't be stopped in this area of the field. The Browns on 4th and 8 here try to go for a field goal, which they miss. 3rd and 3. Philip Van Dijk finds Kurt Weeks wide open, but Kurt Weeks gets hit, loses the ball. The Browns recover. 10 minutes left in this game. The score 24-7. Now the Browns trying to make something happen here off this turnover, and Cooper Maddox finds a lot of space here. Finally caught by Marlon Humphrey, brought down. 2nd and 1 at the 20-yard line, and Cooper Maddox is sacked, stopped. Rashad Peters in on that one. 3rd and 5, 24-yard line, and it's picked off by Casey Jacobs. He undercut the route. Now Jacobs has the speed, and he's going to get away from everyone in for the touchdown. It's going to be a pick 6 to finish. Well, not to finish this game, but to absolutely definitively shut this thing. There's no chance they're going to come back from this. Casey Jacobs with a great play. 1st and 10, 31-yard line for him here. Cooper Maddox running around, making people miss, making more people miss. He really can make it work there with his legs. And then Isaiah Crowell finishes off that drive. 4th and 11, 34-13 the score. 2 minutes left in the game. Throwing it around, and this time Rashad Peters with a pick. And Rashad Peters has got a chance for the end zone. If he can beat one lineman, which he can, he's in. Another pick 6. 2 pick 6s in this game. Rashad Peters continuing to add to this ridiculous season he's already having, and that just makes him look so much better when he's already looking absolutely incredible. The pick 6 adds a lot. You know, I said shades of Ed Reed before. This could be an all-out, you know, competitor to Ed Reed's legacy. Absolutely incredible in his first 2 years so far. 1st and 10, sack for the Browns. An absolute blowout victory with not a lot going on offense, in all honesty. We can already see there Philip Van Dijk, of course, was injured for a large part of the game, only 73 yards. And BJ Wiener did an okay job. Did throw one unfortunate interception. That wasn't his fault. That went into the hands of his receiver, just wasn't caught, bounced around and was intercepted by the third guy to touch it pretty much, I think. So he did do a decent job filling in for Van Dijk, who went 73 yards, 70%, 1 touchdown rushing. Trayvon Bromley, 1892. George Connor still having some fun with those rushes as well as Ashley Stokes having some success today. Then receiving, just, you know, low numbers from everyone pretty much, but George Connor, 27 yards and a touchdown. Kurt Weeks with that big 24, 28 yard reception, whatever it was, and a fumble, which obviously isn't great. TJ Gibbs showing little bits of flashes, although he's not being used too much. And then we take a look at the defense. Hunter Washington leading the team with tackles, actually joint leading the team with Rashad Peters. Rashad Peters cannot stop just being an absolute stud. We'll look at that in a second. 1.5 sacks for Joey Gonzalez, 1.5 sacks for Tim Williams, 1 for Tyce Bowser, 1 for Rashad Peters. Interceptions, 1 for Casey Jacobs, 1 for Rashad Peters. Both of those picks returned for touchdowns. Before this game, the only 2 players on the team to have interceptions were Gilbert Turner and... who is he? Where is he? Down here, Hunter Washington. So Gilbert Turner had 3, Hunter Washington had 2. Now, also Rashad Peters and Casey Jacobs have touchdowns with pick sixes. Both of them nice round numbers, 40, 80 yards. We didn't get any forced fumbles, did we? We did not. So with that game out of the way, we're now 7-0, which is ridiculous. Let's scout some college players. We're looking at the offensive line. Like I said, we did look at left tackles. There's no one there that we're going to be able to take, or that is worth taking. Left guard, already a bad looking situation as it is. There's going to be no one there. Then we need, from the centers, we need B- pass block, B- run block. We don't really need a center, but it's also not a waste of points. And you can see we can go here. There's one. We can take him, take this guy. We can't take that guy. And we can take that guy. So a bunch of centers we can take. But again, we don't want centers. We need tackles. Well, at least there's no guards again. We could get a right tackle, possibly. So, week 7... I forgot to mention this, but it's pretty obvious. George Connor obviously won Offensive Player of the Week for getting 231 receiving yards, 47 rushing yards, and 4 total touchdowns. But week 8, Rashad Peters with his 8 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, and a touchdown wins Defensive Player of the Week. And the best thing, of course, is that means extra XP for these guys, which is so good because they're already so great. George Connor now has 12,000 XP. Rashad Peters has 8,000. These guys are already, without a doubt, the best players on the team on their respective sides of the ball, and they're only getting better and better and better. But for this game, we've got the Steelers to play. Now, I'm pretty sure we played them already. We haven't. The only reason I thought we did is because I saw that they were, well, they only had 1 win at the time. They're now 2-6. Of course, never let it be a trap game in the division. You've got to expect the absolute best from the team. Let's take a look at what they look like now. So, here's one reason why they may not be doing so well. Ben Roethlisberger is injured, their starting quarterback. Not too bad though, when we faced him before and he played very well against us. Tate Fowler. Running back, Le'Veon Bell. Wide receivers, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Eli Rogers. Not much changing for this team in all honesty, and that's not good news for us. The tight end, Jesse James. Behind him, Derek Alvarez, a third-year player. Alejandro Villanueva, the left tackle. Patrick Omame, the left guard. Marquise Pouncey, the center. David DeCastro is still the right guard, and the right tackle, DJ Fluker. A left end is Damon Harrison and Stephon Tuitt at right end, which means they've got some good backups around there. Defensive tackle, Tyler Davison, Bud Dupree, left outside linebacker, 94 overall, 99 awareness, watch out for him. Ryan Shazier, the starting middle linebacker, Mac Barron behind him. Not a great overall on him, to be fair, but, you know, he's got good awareness. He's got, well, they've got a bunch of middle linebackers actually with good awareness. And the right outside linebacker, TJ Watt, 94 overall. The cornerbacks, Artie Burns, who is good, and we've had some problems against Russ Cockrell and Devon Rosso. But he's a 69 overall. That's a big drop off there. Everyone behind these two, not very good. And, well, to be fair, even in main coverage, Russ Cockrell isn't that great. The free safety, Kevin Byard, I think we've played against him already. 83 overall, of course. Kevin Byard we know is good, and 88 rated Sean Davis. It's a good team. Not much has changed whatsoever, really. Of course, some key positions, Damon Harrison and Kevin Byard on the team. but mostly it's still what we know, that Tate Fowler at quarterback, I think we've played against before, and it's not an easy guy to beat. So I already said we're not taking anything for granted here, and we definitely even still won't with Ben Roethlisberger injured. We expect their absolute best. So we finish with one divisional rival game straight into the next one against the Pittsburgh Steelers here, and this will be a big one. Tate Fowler may be the quarterback, but he's not bad either, and they start with a run with Le'Veon Bell, and therefore it doesn't really also matter who the quarterback is. And now throwing one up, Casey Jacobs tries to make a play. Somehow Antonio Brown comes down with that one. The only receiver in the league where you go, all right, yeah, fair enough. Absolutely ridiculous how he ended up with this ball. Casey Jacobs made a great play, but Antonio Brown somehow stole that from the defensive back, turned what should have been an interception into a touchdown. But on 1st and 10, we go deep for George Conner. He wanted to show that he can do things like that too. 1st and 10 at 35-yard line, and that just, I don't know why that was thrown. It really never should have been thrown. TJ Gibbs can't make a play. Van Diak is there, but he can't stop him, and it looks like they're actually going to take this into the end zone and make it 14-0 very early in the game, and that was just because of a boneheaded decision. 1st and 10 here, it's a completion to Kurt Weeks. He gets the first down. We've got to do something here. We've got to get back into this game quickly, but there, just straight up the middle, Ryan Shazier comes in with the sack. 3rd and 19, and again, the pressure's there. We cannot do anything right now. We have to punt the ball away, and now the Steelers have it here on 3rd and 17. We do stop them, but they make the score 17-0. 3rd and 8, pressure came in straight away. Philip Van Diak just has nowhere to go. There weren't any open receivers, and he ends up getting sacked. 3rd and 4, Le'Veon Bell makes the catch, but Rashad Peters makes the stop. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line, and there's a completion to George Conner over the middle of the field, and he gets a first down. 2nd and 9, and it's a completion to Kurt Weeks. We might have to use him for a fair bit this game, although there's no position on the field really that's that weak for the Steelers. And Philip Van Diak again in trouble on 2nd and goal, takes a sack. 3rd and goal, it sets up at the 13-yard line now, trying to force one in again. We're in the first half, and we're already in desperation mode. You can see that from Van Diak's throws. Le'Veon Bell tried to go outside there, but Rashad Peters was ready and waiting, and on 4th and 10, they punt away. Ashley Stokes is there waiting for it. We know he can really do something in the return game. Might have a chance here, and then he gets taken down by the linebacker there, and we're still a good return. 3rd and 10, 27-yard line. Again, trying to force something, and it's an interception, and we'll go into the second half down 17-0, and now we're trying to run. We've got to calm down. We've got to settle ourselves. 17 points, achievable enough for this offense, and we've got to try and get something going here, and Kurt Weeks with a nice catch. He has become a focusing point of this because we're not getting too much from anybody else right now. 1st and 10, a good run from Trayvon Bromley. 2nd and 10, looking to pass. It's a completion to TJ Gibbs. TJ Gibbs, I said it last week, I'll say it this week, he's becoming a bigger part of this offense. 2nd and 10 now. Van Diak rolling out to the right. Looks like he's got some space to go to the end zone. Dives in, and he gets a touchdown, and we close the gap. 17-7 now, and Tim Williams in with a sack there. And we set up this 3rd and 12 at the 45-yard line. Tate Fowler rolling out to the right, gets away from one defender, and then finally is stopped by a combination of Gilbert Turner and Tyus Bowser, but only just barely. 2nd and 28, throwing deep for George Conner. George Conner with the catch at the 40-yard line. 3rd and 9 now, and it's another completion to George Conner. Of course it is. When you need to get something done, look to George Conner. Now Trayvon Bromley almost with the first down here. 2nd and inches, back to Trayvon Bromley, just gets stopped short at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, looking for a pass, but we cannot see anything, so why not just walk it into the end zone for a 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. And we've closed the gap, 20-14 the score now. Enough time left in this game, and now Tate Fowler in some trouble, but manages to get away and looks to turn it upfield, but is still brought down and sacked. And we're going for it on 4th and 1. TJ Gibbs with the catch, the safe hands. 4th and inches, we have to go again, and Nate Palmer cannot get the fullback dive. We turn the ball over there. 3rd and 9, we stop Le'Veon Bell, and we have 42 seconds to get down the field. Touchdown will win this game. A completion there to Jakeem Grant, he gets out of bounds. 2nd and 22 now, 20 seconds left in the game. Philip Van Diak throws over the middle, caught again by Jakeem Grant. And that's how the game ends. We expected a lot from the Steelers, and now this is not to talk away the 3 interceptions because, you know, they had nothing to do with this. But we were absolutely overpowered by this team. every single play pretty much. Trayvon Bromley was fighting for every single inch that he gained. 4.7 yards his average, which is good, but that's off a couple of bigger plays, not off anything regular. Receiving, George Conner, you know, fought as hard as he could, but he couldn't do it on his own. A couple of other guys, you know, putting in good shifts, but there just wasn't enough happening. And defensively, we had to make so many tackles. You see that here with 11-7-7-5. But the defensive line was getting punched off the ball every single time the ball was snapped. They were 2-3 yards up the field already. And when we were on offense, the same was happening with their defensive line. Just on top of us straight away. Sacks by Tim Williams, Rashad Peters, and Hunter Washington. No turnovers for us, of course. Turnovers for them. We'll take a look at the blocking as well. We didn't give up too many sacks, to be fair. Just 2, 1, and 1. And Trayvon Bromley being responsible for a sack. Really, someone else is responsible for that, surely. But that's how it finishes. The Steelers end the unbeaten run. And I mean, you know, the division you've always got to be careful in. Someone was going to do it eventually. Or at least you figure that much. And it wasn't even that bad from Philip Van Dyke, apart from, you know, 3 interceptions. He still got 55.5% completion percentage, 297 yards, but we couldn't get it done. And I mean, that final play, George Conner, he even had his hands on it. George Conner can literally almost do everything. Give him one more season of improvement and he will be, without doubt, the single best wide receiver in the NFL. Just look at what he did in this game trying to fight back. So, you know, we've got to pick ourselves up after that one. We can't throw away a 7-win season because of one bad loss. And it wasn't even that bad a loss. It was a terrible first half, an admirable second half. Even then, still, you know, had some problems, but we certainly came back. One player has regressed. It's Philip Van Dyke. Injury, sacked 4 times. Yeah, he doesn't catch a break really, does he? Poor fella. The sacks have still been coming all season long, and we can't find, you know, replacement tackles. They're just not appearing when we scout, and we'll do that right now. We've got, I think, right guards to look at, which there aren't any of, and right tackles. So right guards, yeah, we can quickly go through these, of course. For right guard, we're looking at B- pass block, B- run block, and that means it could potentially be here. Nope. Right tackles, we're looking at B in pass or run block, and personally, I want it in pass block, and we've got some pass blockers here, and also a C or better in the one that isn't a B, if that makes sense. And now all of a sudden we're looking at, again, no players. Now we could take this guy, for example, and he probably is better than what we've got, but it's really not looking good for us. After this we're on to middle linebackers. The reason we would take a middle linebacker is because Rashad Bass would actually make a very, very good outside linebacker, an 88 rated outside linebacker. So if we can get another one and push him outside, that's not a problem. But the offensive line, we're gonna have to go into free agency. We don't have a choice.